Hello and welcome. This is Borno Restoration, where we give you updates on development from across Borno State. I am Jesse Tafida. Today on the program, we will talk to residents of Borno to get their views on the successes recorded so far by Governor Babagana Zulum's administration in various sectors of the state, from health to education, security, youth empowerment, and lots more. All this will come your way after we bring you the latest on Borno Today. The band churns out music to the delight of everyone here. They also render songs of praises to God and expressed gratitude for yet another year. The special program was organized to specifically pray for Nigerian leaders and to usher in the new year with positive thoughts.
It's a season where you usher your life and your plans and everything to the hands of God for the year, for the beginning of the new year. First January is prophetic, and when youths come together in unity of heart, unity of faith, when we commit the leaders into the hands of Lord, it shows that the beginning of the year will be like a guide, like a compass to what will happen in the year.
They say how you start something determines how it ends. So what better way to start the year rather than to be in the presence of God, because we want Him to guide us from the beginning down through the year. We are expectant of the year, so we are bringing those expectations to God because we have faith in Him that we are going to fulfill. He's going to fulfill those expectations with us, and that's why we are starting it in His presence.
With the team following in His steps, worshippers are admonished to take it as a duty to be ambassadors of peace in the year 2024.
2024 is going to be a year of ease and rest. And we cannot have a year of ease and rest if we don't go with God. By the time we start with the Holy Spirit, you don't speak before Him, you speak after Him. You don't walk before Him, you walk after Him. The Bible says the heart of kings is in the hand of God. So we lift them onto the hands of the Almighty. The thing I want to even advise the citizens of Nigeria is to stop complaining and do more of prayer.
As the new year begins, Nigerians are hopeful that it will be better than the previous year. "65 years and above are those seated in this hall. Help has come their way from Nigeria's First Lady, Senator Oluremi Tinubu. She was represented by the wife of the Borno State Governor, Falmata Zulum. The initiative has earmarked a total of 950 million naira to be shared to the beneficiaries across the country.
This economic empowerment program is born out of a steadfast commitment to the well-being of our elderly citizens, and it marks a significant stride in our collective pursuit of a more inclusive and compassionate society. We are committed to ensuring that each state receives this gesture without discrimination. As we approach the festive season, it becomes very important to emphasize the significance of prioritizing our elderly citizens in our initiatives.
The state government is thankful to the First Lady of Nigeria and her Renewed Hope initiative for making impact.
Equally gave each of the beneficiaries a bag of rice, and most importantly, a medical outreach is ongoing right now, where the elderly are diagnosed of illnesses that are mostly related with people of their age. It is an agenda of the Renewed Hope initiative, where the elderly citizens occupy a very big space in governance and reaping from the dividends of democracy.
Each beneficiary takes home the sum of 100,000 naira and food items. Dudu Gobe is among the selected 250 beneficiaries.
There was no government that ever remember any retired or old people who has been devastated by all this type of Boko Haram insurgency.
Among the beneficiaries are people living with disabilities, widows, retirees, and the downtrodden. Nigeria's National Population Commission says an estimated 19 million Nigerians are living with disabilities. Research reveals that people living with disability are more likely to experience extreme poverty in Nigeria due to lack of inclusion. Out of this figure, the Northeast has the highest number of persons living with disability, especially made worse by years of insurgency. But the Borno State government is changing this narrative. It is providing equal opportunity for people living with disability.
We recognize the need for equal access of education, healthcare, employment, and all phases of life. Today, we reiterate our dedication to implementing policies and initiatives that promote inclusion and elimination of discrimination against persons with disability.
We pay special attention to the intersectionality of gender and disability. Women with disabilities often face compounded barriers, and it is part of our responsibility to ensure that their voices are heard, their rights protected, and their contributions valued. The ministry is committed to implementing policies and initiatives that champion the rights of people living with disabilities.
This move, the government believes, will enable people living with disability contribute their quota to the development of the society.
It is important that we celebrate you people, we recognize you, we support you, we rekindle our good times and our challenging times with you. Our statistics show that those street begging is not done by actually people living with disabilities. Please don't join them.
The aim of commemorating the International Day for Persons with Disabilities is to promote their rights and support for disability-related issues. It's the first briefing by the Borno State Police Command. These suspects, numbering 25, were arrested by men of the Borno State Police Command for allegedly committing various crimes. The crimes ranges from culpable homicide, theft, criminal conspiracy, unlawful possession of dangerous weapons and drugs, and fake currencies. The police public relations officer is here to brief the press on this development.
This breakthrough recorded are achieved through proactive crime preventive strategies put in place by the command under the watch of the Commissioner of Police, Borno State Command, CP Yusufu Mohammed Lawal, PSC.
The Commissioner of Police wishes to assure the good people of Borno State that the command shall continue to uphold high standards of professionalism and service delivery to ensure due enforcement of all laws to make the state safer and secure. Therefore, members of the public are advised to be conversant with the Borno State Penal Code law and other matters herewith 2023.
Among the suspects is this group of gang known as Malians. They specialize in snatching of people's valuables and constituted nuisance to residents. Thus, the police say, will not be tolerated.
We've dropped our suggestion box in every police station. You'll be aware that the Commissioner of Police has also unbundled the police station to draw those that have been closed in previous years, to draw the community more closer to the police. We have our complaint desks which are available. We have the complaint response unit, which I will roll out the phone number after this. We have the PCB, the Public Complaint Bureau, which is also available. We've also tried to reach out to drop our social media handles for people to reach out to us through community policing.
The police called on residents to take up the responsibility of reporting suspicious movement around them to security agencies. The Borno State Police Command says it will continue its quest in ridding the state of crime. It also promises to bring these perpetrators to book to serve as deterrent to others. Every new year is usually greeted with hopes, reflections, and resolutions for a better year ahead. For the people of Borno State, the year 2023 came with lots of challenges, but were overcome as a result of the prompt humanitarian response by Governor Babagana Zulum. Many residents are hoping that 2024 will bring better fortunes. Take a listen.
I will start listing projects that Zulum has done that has impacted me and the common man. It is uncountable. But one thing I know that has impacted the common man to the grassroots level is the introduction of mass transit and then the electric taxi within the metropolis. You know, actually with the removal of fuel subsidy, life has become very, very challenging to the common man. But to be sincere, the Zulum's buses and taxis have really touched the common man to the extent that almost everyone is saying, go to the grassroots and ask. Everyone is saying that it is one of the things that a common man knows that there is governance around, because people think that government is not something that has to do with the common man, but this transportation aspect alone has changed the narrative. Now that everyone has been impacted, not only the masses, even wealthy individuals now park their cars and follow the Zulum buses.
Our governor, Professor Babagana Zulum, for his effort, because I'm living in Polo, that is Polo High Court. But to my surprise, when I'm about to go to school, I saw a bus there near High Court. Then they are even calling me that the motto is 50 naira, which of sometime in the morning when I'm going to work, I used to pay 200, 300 naira to my destination. But to my surprise today, I pay 50 naira. And now I'm returning from my work now, going to Polo again, and I'm paying 50 naira. What I will tell our Oga, that is Professor Babagana Zulum, we are very grateful because of his effort. More effort, more elbow to his work. We pray that God will comfort him, God will be with him, and also our God will give him a prosperity life so that he can continue to upgrade this effort that he has done. So we are very, very grateful. We are saying thank you very much.
year 2023 has been a very wonderful year. It's a year that every citizen of Borno would acknowledge that yes, there is a government in the state. This government is all about service delivery and good governance. In the last the year 2023, we have witnessed quite a reasonable and unquantifiable service delivery in terms of physical as well as policies geared to improve the lots of the citizen. For me, if I'm to take one, certainly I will say the governor's commitment to service delivery and people-centered governance. This has been a hallmark of Governor Zulum. However, to talk on the structures put in place, the year 2023 witnessed remarkable improvement in the provision of health facilities, ensuring that citizens have access to affordable and accessible healthcare delivery, education. We all know that before now how the Boko Haram incidents has been a problem to us, and what they were saying, Western education is taboo. The governor is on his oath to ensure that he has revived the education sector to ensure future development of citizens. Not forgetting our brothers and sisters that were displaced by the insurgency and the governor's commitment, moving irrespective of weather, time, and hard-to-reach locations to provide succor to citizens in terms of humanitarian support and giving them that hope that yes, they have something in the future to do, taking them or making them understand that the hopelessness of this Boko Haram will soon be over, and giving hope and livelihood support to ensure that they pick up their pieces and then continue with life as it used to be. A restoration of peace in Borno, people can attest that yes, peace has gradually returned to Borno. People go about their normal life. For somebody coming out of the country, out of the state, only feels about Borno, you can look at it from a different perspective. But when you come here, you will begin to wonder if at all this is the Borno people have been talking about outside the state. Life has returned. And then the last 4.5 years of Governor Zulum, there were remarkable improvement in terms of structures, infrastructure. If you come into the state capital, you certainly know that there is a governance, there is a government in place, which means Zulum is working. And people have been attesting to it. We appreciate the support they've been giving to the government, understanding his style of leadership, what he means by service delivery and good governance. I can talk on and on and on, but the truth is that in the last 4.5 years of Governor Zulum in Borno State, there's a remarkable improvement in terms of all aspects of human endeavor.
The governor has been a humanitarian governor even before the removal of the subsidy. And I am proud to say that my governor was the first governor that began the distribution of food palliatives, and again he was the first governor who launched the mass transit so that he could ease the means of transportation, especially to the farmers, which by everybody knows the people of Borno are mostly farmers, especially the masses. Everybody's seen how he has given them free transport so that this will help them to go to their farm and also make them to cultivate their crops back home successfully.
For us, he's the only governor because he's someone that has the political will. He has the commitment, and most importantly, he has his people at heart. And if you combine these three elements, there is no way you will not get somebody like His Excellency Professor Babagana Umar Zulum. Now, as a member of his cabinet, you have no option but to support him, because you have a leader that is leading by example. You have someone that does not sleep. So who are you to go and sleep? You have someone that is so compassionate, so caring about the security situation, about the agricultural situation, about resettlement, about reconciliation, about reintegration, about educating the girl child. Who am I, as a mere commissioner of Women Affairs and Social Development, that I will not support him? It's the paradigms are already on ground. There's a benchmark. So if you don't key into what Professor Babagana Zulum is doing, you are already a failure. You understand? So the leadership, the political will, the commitment, the dedication, and compassion for everyone in Borno State leaves us with no option. We are on standby 24/7. There is no commissioner that you say, it's weekend, it's after 6. That does not exist in our agenda, because your principal is someone that leads by example. And so it is compulsory, it is a must that we must employ all the strategies, all the energy that exists in us to ensure that the 10-pact agenda, the 25-year development plan, the 10-year strategic plan of Borno State works. As a Commissioner for Women Affairs, poverty must be brought to zero. Our girls must go to school, both within and outside Nigeria. People living with disabilities must be given their chance to survive, to exist. Children must benefit, they must have rights to education, rights to shelter, right to good health. And that is why the child rights law has been domesticated in Borno State. And that is why the VAP law is well implemented. We have removed the stigma that is associated with being a victim of rape. We have had so many, over 600 convictions of people that have raped from across the state in the last couple of years. And this is because the culture of silence is no more. Speak out. The governor's wife is our ambassador. She leads. We have gender desks in all the police stations. We are having maximum support from the traditional rulers. The religious leaders are supporting us because our leader is in the forefront.
For one, he's a professor. For two, he came from a very humble beginning and he saw how education became a catalyst for him to reach these heights. And education is a key sector. It's the fundamental of human capital development. Every developed society has a good literacy index. So I believe these are reasons enough for him to invest massively in the education sector. His Excellency has returned 15 rural schools, and more than the 10 mega schools out of the 30 commissioned were all in rural areas. And that has created significant access to children who were in that community who initially did not have access to school. When you go back to those communities, you will now see the presence of schooling, which was not there before. You see, the governor is at the strategic level. He gives the directives. We at the operational level, ours is to implement the directives. So we would ensure that we work on his vision and the focus to see that education is given to the less privileged child, qualitative education. And this is part of our pillar in our 25-year development plan and our 10-pact agenda. So we shall key into it and ensure that this is achieved.
At the bottom of my heart, I want to express my sincere appreciation to all of you that voted us into another phase of public service. Again, I commit to making sure that we shall work 100% for the benefit of all residents of Borno State, regardless of political, ethnic, and religious persuasions. I want to assure you, the people of Borno State, that the victory you have granted us will neither make us arrogant, nor will it make us to take you for granted.
And that's our package on this episode of Borno Restoration. Many thanks for watching. I am Jesse Tafida. See you next time. Bye-bye.